I was just telling these guys, you just hear you going through the gears. Like, well, he found high gear.
Yep.
Alright, good morning there, DBF family. So, on today's video, we're going to go through Paul Cox's CR500 build that we built here in the DBF garage. And last week you saw us take this thing out and go for its maiden voyage. So the reason I have it back here today is because anytime I do a fresh build like this one, that's literally frame up, I like to bring it back after the first ride, go through it, nut and bolt this thing, make sure everything's tight, and fix any little flaws or defects or problems that arose during the first ride. So that's what we're going to do today. One of the problems we had out there was obviously the tank vent that this thing had. I had one of the short little stubby tank vents on it that had the little vent up on top. That failed, and it filled the whole bottom half crankcase side of this motor clear full of raw gas. And in order to fix that, I went and I bought a factory Honda OEM vent hose, vent tube, and put back on it, and that should remedy that problem. So one of the issues we found on this bike when we were out there riding it is it was having a hard time kind of idling. And so when I got it home, I pulled the carburetor back off, pulled the pilot jet out, which controls the amount of fuel that goes into the circuit at an idle. And I found something interesting. It's stamped as a 55 pilot jet. So I bought another 55 pilot jet, measured the hole, and at some point somebody's taken a drill bit or some sort of tooling and oversized that pilot jet. So I thought it was the correct pilot jet. It should have been, but somebody had oversized it, so I bought a new one. We're gonna throw that back in it, and while we're there, I'm actually going to change the throttle cable. The aftermarket one is just a hair too long, and the adjustments on the throttle tube and the carburetor are adjusted all the way out, so it does not leave any room for stretching later on down the road. So that's the two things we're going to tackle on this thing at the moment, and then after we get done with those, we'll move on to the other problems. That little guy right there, that's the idling problem. Get that thing changed, you're good to go. So while I have the tank off this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and check the upper engine mounts, the headstay mounts, you know, coolant lines, stuff like that. Stuff that's easier to access once I get the tank off of it, while I have the tank off of it rather. And then I'm gonna go ahead and touch up the polished aluminum frame, just so when I take this back to him later, you know, it looks brand new again. So I know it's kind of silly, but it's kind of how I roll. But once I get it polished again, I'm gonna hit it with this this Maxima SC1 high gloss coat, and I'll do the whole bike on this thing. So when it does get dirty again, hits it with a hose and everything just falls off, and it helps protect everything on the bike. So she's a ripper. She runs great now, so that's awesome. So the only other thing that I noticed on this bike that needed to be addressed after the first test drive was the right-hand fork seal was just ever so slightly leaking. I'm gonna tear it apart. I'm gonna see if it's just a faulty seal that when I rebuilt the front forks, something happened, or if it's something that I did. I don't know. So it's not bad. It's not a horrible leak, but it's bad enough that it would bug me. So it needs to be right when it goes back to Paul. So I'm gonna get this thing tore apart and get it changed out. So let's get going. Oh, that's interesting. See if I can get this dried off and show you what I think's going on. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but if you look right there on the sill, there's a nick inside of that sill right there. Almost looks like I don't know what happened there. If maybe that's a manufacturing defect or what, but I'd almost dare guess right there where my fingernail is, that's where the leak was. So, all right, so I've got new sills. I'll slap one in it and we'll be back together in about 10 minutes. Awesome. Easy fix. Well, the old Fab Rats 500 is officially leaving the DBF garage, and it's going to go over to the Fab Rats shop, or the Fab Rats shack, or the Fab Rats, I don't know. It's going over to Fab Rats. So I'm going to load this thing up. I'm going to go deliver it over to Paul, and we'll see you when we get there. All right, so we're about there. We're going to roll off the hill right here and go see what Paul's up to and see if he wants to take delivery of this bike. I think he probably will. You want a dirt bike?
Dude, I do bad.
I got it here for you.
That thing's so cool.
It runs, like I said on the phone, it runs harder now than it did the other day. And I didn't like go all out on scrubbing it down, but I cleaned it up quite a bit. Had a fork seal leaking.
No kidding?
Yeah, right hand side fork seal. It had almost like a bump on the edge of it, where a manufacturer defect. So, and I forgot I got the other fork seals for the other side. I'll bring it to you. I totally spaced it, but here's your other wheels and tires in case you want to throw sand tires on it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That'll be a rear fender gone instantly if I put a paddle on it.
There's a chance.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Let's get her unloaded. She's yours, man.
That thing is so freaking awesome.
So the carburetor, like I said, pilot jet that was in it, looked at the numbers, I'm like, oh cool, it's the right one. Put it in, couldn't get it idle. Yeah, somebody had taken it, drilled it out, and it was just running so fat it was trying to figure out how to run. So I put it back together and it was better, but it wasn't right. And I'm like, what the heck? So I was talking to Troy and he's like, dude, you got another body. He's like, just swap it over and see what it is. Fired right
Fixed
up.
it.
Fixed it. Don't know what.
Something in that body is...
Something in the body it's leak. I think it's leaking.
Got a crack in it or something. Probably
got
had
water in it and froze.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is.
And I took the metering block out, checked it. I mean, dude, I had that carburetor. It's good to go now.
That's sweet. That thing's so bad, eh?
You're probably gonna get bucked off. That might happen.
Already did.
You did, and I missed it.
Yeah, already got ejected.
Sometimes Kev falls off too.
If the light and idle should.
Pull the pants up.
Yeah, no one wants to see that.
Yeah, little plumber's crack.
Gas is off.
Yeah, that's gonna be a forever habit now.
I know. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't have to be. Way better. That sounds You don't think so?
I could probably ride the 450 more
Yeah.
than that thing.
Well, he found high gear in that thing.
He definitely did.
Yeah, that's
It runs better,
Oh,
doesn't
man.
it?
Yeah, it's good.
I was
Yep.
just telling these guys, you just hear you going through the gears. Like, well, he found high gear.
Yep.
So only difference I do is when you go ride it for a minute and get it good and hot,
Yeah.
pull that plug and check it, because you might be able to go up one more or even two more on the main jet. And if you feel like you need to go up a little richer,
Yeah.
let me know. I've got
Okay.
piles and piles of main jets.
Cool.
But it felt good all the way through.
Yeah, it feels awesome.
Pulls hard. Cool.
And then it stays running when you let off.
That's nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that was hard out there that day.
Yeah.
The bottom, about quarter throttles where it had to be to run. And
Oh, and I changed the throttle cable. The new one I put on it was too freaking long. It was like that much, and dude, the adjustments was
all the slack.
yeah. And so when I put it together, I actually tried to buy a factory one out of stock.
Yeah.
When I got back the other day and got looking, they actually had two of them in stock, so I bought them both.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's
Well, thank you very much. Like I
bet.
told you, I could have made this run, but it wouldn't look like this. There's no.
it's
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
This
I
thing's
think
awesome.
You're gonna enjoy the hell out of it. I love mine.
Yep.
There's a reason I have a few.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. This thing's just cool.
Yeah, they're a rocket ship.
They're definitely.
Today I'm going to change things up just a little bit. Today my good buddy Steve, we call him Shoob, his daughter is in the garage. She has a 2002 Duramax that the rear differential lost some bearings. So I'm going to help her change the bearings out on the carrier and the pinion, and once she gets those parts home and gets them installed, we'll go down and help her set up the backlash and all that good stuff. So let's get going. So this is Becca, this is her truck, this is Steve's daughter, and this is the rear third member carrier assembly out of her truck. And if you'll zoom in right here and look, see that bearing right there? That bearing is no good. So that's what we're changing today. So this is the tool we're going to be using to pull the bearings off of. So this tool is actually built for this application to remove side bearings and pinion bearings. So I'm going to get this thing set up and I'll show you how it works. The way this works is it's got these two little clamshells that go around the actual carrier itself and actually ride down inside of the puller, and then this slides over the top, tightens down and holds everything together and slides that right off. Just like that.
Yay.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier than
Awesome.
trying to use a press and a bearing splitter. There's the old one. Now all I got to do is do the other side, and then we'll flip them over, put the new ones in, and we'll be done. Well, yesterday we tried to change these bearings out on this ring and pinion setup for my buddy Steve's daughter, and I got the carrier bearings all removed and pressed on with no problem. When it came to the inner pinion bearing, my tool would not go over the pinion itself. So Jed's gonna help me out today. We're gonna go up to his shop, use his big press and a bearing splitter, and get this changed out and get this project done. All right guys, so I just got a text message from Jed, and he says he is headed up to his shop for a minute and he has time to help us press this bearing off and on. So let's go see if he can help us get it done. Let's go find Jed. I found old Jetty. He's got the old bearing splitter, and he's got a gigantic press over there. We're gonna see if we can get this thing pressed off and the new one pressed on and get back on the road. He ordered all this stuff, and I told him, I says, call Randy's Ring and Pinion, get everything from Randy's Ring and Pinion, give him the VIN number, everything, and I says, you'll have it right the first time. Well, he didn't. He got, first time he ordered it from AutoZone.
I'm a dealer for Randy's Ring and Pinion now.
You are?
Yeah, like a month ago.
Well, that's good information to know. Yesterday.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's gonna go. Ooh. Butter.
She's tight.
Yeah. Sounds like. Oh. Ah! That was almost bad. Woo! Sweet. Ready?
Ready, smash.
Hulk smash.
One more squeeze.
Got old Jedediah loaded up. Say hi, Jed.
Put your seatbelt on.
Oh yeah, we're rolling dirty, no seatbelts. We're gonna head right over the border into Arizona, and we're gonna go see if we can get this rear end put together for her since her dad is out of town, and get this thing handled today. So we made her here. This is the culprit right here. Hello, Pop. So we're gonna lay underneath there and tap that inner race in, and then once we get that in, me and Jed will slap this thing together real quick. Fingers crossed, real quick. Yep, it's still heavy.
Full of gravity.
Yep, gravity's still a bastard. Oh, you're a deer. That's a good sound. Close. Run it, see what develops. We got the ring and pinion put in and got the pattern set up like it's supposed to be, so we're going to push the pinion back out, reinstall it with a new crush sleeve, and put this thing together for last and final time. Any words of advice or wisdom over there, Jed? It's a lot easier with the hoist.
Buy a lift, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. The things we do for our fellow dirt bike people.
Let's
You're on the crush. Yep. Hopefully it goes now.
There's no noof.
It's
just no noof.
Nope.
I'm gonna grab my service truck. I got a 3/4 air gun.
Okay. Let's
and
do that.
Got a big air hose.
Yeah, otherwise we're gonna be here all damn day. All right, so change of plans. We need more oomph to get the crush sleeve to tighten up on that thing. So we're gonna run up and grab Jed's mobile service truck so we can get that thing crushed on. He's got an air gun in there that'll do it. So that was what I thought was gonna be the problem, and it is. So we're gonna go grab that and we'll be back and get this thing finished up for her.
Want to see why you shouldn't buy a Dodge with a 48 RE or a 47 RE?
Yes.
Let's drive.
So is what you're saying is the transmission's not long lived in this thing?
It's had a rough life since I've owned it.
So is what you're saying is it needs a stick right here?
It needs a stick. I've got everything to do it. Should have had it for like 5 years. I just haven't done it.
Well, you know, there's no reason to worry about it now. Oh, that's just too damn funny. So, here's the thing. The reason we're doing this is because Steve or Shub is a riding buddy of ours, and he's just a damn good guy. I mean, he would, if he was in town and we needed help, he's the first guy that's always there. So, yeah, that's why we're doing this. Us dirt bike guys, we take care of other dirt bike guys that are in our group.
Help each other out.
That's right, because that's what it's all about. If you can't help somebody out that needs help, there's not really a whole lot of point. So. You're literally breaking out the big guns. It's not going to take much.
No.
I think you get quarter turn out of it, she'll go.
A couple ugga-duggas?
Yeah. Holy
cow. Oh,
Oh
shit.
no.
There goes the socket.
Holy.
That's why you don't use, that's why you use impact sockets on impacts, eh? I don't hate that. Okay, we check the pattern one more time or ship it?
I'd double check it.
I'd feel better about it.
A little bit.
Check here, just for fun.
You gotta keep your art skills.
That's right. Should see him paint happy little trees.
That's looking more like Picasso.
No, I'm a Bob Ross guy, dude, through and through. That guy's a real OG.
Oh.
No mistakes, just happy little accidents. Alright, let's see what we done. Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Nice and centered.
Yep,
Beautimus.
yep. You're not gonna get any better than that right there. Cool. Throw these little fellers in there.
The commentary is half the reason I like you guys.
Say hi. So that's Becca. We just got her rear axle all put together, new bearings in the ring and pinion, and she's gonna crawl back underneath it and throw the cover on it full of oil and bolt the axles in and be done. But
And put the drive shaft back on.
yeah,
Back
yeah,
to you.
minor details. It's not that Bluetooth drive shaft.
With only one casualty.
Yeah, we only had one casualty. This is why you do not use a chrome non-impact socket on a, what was that, a 1-inch gun?
I've never seen
1-inch gun, yeah, it kind of,
like
oh
this.
yeah, it happens. But that's the only casualty we had. Had a little hard time getting the crush sleeve to go, but once we figured out what was going on, it wasn't too big of a deal. So we're gonna wrap it up here and head back to the garage. Bye, Becca. All right.
Bye.
All right, so we made her back to the garage. Old Jed there. We got the rear differential all fixed up for her, and she's gonna go put oil and stuff back in it and be back on the road in no time. She's actually a pretty handy girl, so it's kind of fun to see that. So hope this kind of gives you guys a little bit of what we actually do in our day-to-day. We are not motorcycle mechanics by trade. It's just kind of our hobby. I'm a automotive mechanic, Jed's a diesel mechanic, and you know, between the two of us, we were able to fumble through the dirt bike stuff, I guess. So the question I have is this something you guys would like to see more of, or do you want us to just stick with dirt bike and dirt bike related stuff? Put it down in the comments. But that being said, we're gonna get back on some projects. There's the old wagon. Yeah, a little sneak peek. It's coming real soon. And as always, appreciate every single one of you, and thanks for watching.